Hey, it's Bill, and you're tuned into Three Questions and a Song, the podcast where the show is exactly what the title says. With me tonight, we have Chrystyna Marie, originally from Toronto, Canada, currently in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, not too far from where I'm sitting tonight.
We're neighbors.
I like you said grungy blues. I like that description.
It was actually described someone else, a fan described it as that, and I stole it.
I once called a band outlaw rock. That stuck. That was probably 20 years ago. They're still calling themselves that.
That's pretty awesome. I like that.
It's kind of like I kind of stole it from outlaw country.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that was like Chris Christopherson and Willie Nelson. They separate, but they also did I forget what they called, the Highwaymen, which were a bunch of. I mean, it was Johnny Cash, I think, was in it. Waylon Jennings, that group of country artists, which kind of, they could be considered Southern rock if you. Yeah. So
depends who you talk to.
Right. So I kind of borrowed it from that. All right. So here we go. I have 3 questions for you. I haven't really thought about them other than the one that Scarlet sent me. Right. Scarlet did from last episode. I forgot to mention, when we get to the point where where I say we're going to play the song, I'm not actually going to play it because Facebook would mute the video. And when we get to the point where Scarlet's question comes in, I'm just going to ask a shortened version of it, and I edit it in later. So it sounds like she's actually asking you the question.
Awesome.
All right. So here we go.
All right.
Question 1. This one, I think I kind of have to know. What do you think the difference is between the music scene in Toronto and the music scene in Pittsburgh?
This is actually a tough question because I got into the music scene in Pittsburgh right when COVID happened.
Oh.
So I don't really know the music scene in Pittsburgh. It kind of screwed me up there right when I booked a bunch of shows. I was about to go watch a bunch of shows and shut down.
Well, what venues were you booked at? Do you remember?
No, that's really bad, isn't it?
No. I mean, it was 8 months ago.
It was 8 months ago, and it was, I can't even think of a name. There was one in Bridgeville, a sports bar in Bridgeville, I think. It's pretty popular.
I'm trying to think where 31, it wasn't 31 Bar and Grill.
You know what? It might have been.
I can't remember where that one is. That's if it is, that one's owned by Ken Reggett, who is a goaltender for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What?
His number was 31.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I have no.
Okay, how about this?
About the Pittsburgh scene.
Tell me a little bit about the Toronto scene. I'll let you off the hook.
Thank you. Toronto scene is actually really cool and really small. So every artist knows each other pretty much, and we bring each other up. So if someone's having a show, they'll be like, hey, I'm having a show on this day. If you come out, we'll bring you up. We'll do a song together. After the show, do you want to work on something together? So we all help each other out. We work on music together. We bring each other into the shows. I know in Los Angeles, it was not like that. It was like every man for himself. You don't want the next guy to get ahead of you. So that was really weird for me. I don't know if that's what it's like here.
It goes in cycles. It has been like that. Currently, it's more like how you're describing Toronto.
Awesome.
You get some help.
I think it's awesome to help each other out. Why why wouldn't you want to make the network bigger? Then when you need help, you know you can get it. Then you give it back.
That's the thing I always say about that the clickiness and doing the it's me and only me thing is when in the 80s in LA when those bands started making it, they started making it together as a group because they worked together. And so I don't know why you would exclude anybody, because if one band draws attention to the scene, everybody makes out. So help each other bring that attention.
Yeah, I think over there, people are afraid that, hey, if they like this person better at my show, they're going to stop coming to my shows and go to that person's shows. Like that's kind of the mentality in some of the people over there. I'm not talking bad about it. That's just the experience that I had. It's very different than Toronto.
The Sunset Strip in the 80s, I'm sure, was much different than what LA is like now.
I don't know, but yeah, for sure. For sure. I think, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think now too, you have to pay to perform.
That happens occasionally.
And in Toronto, you don't have to pay to perform. So that's a big difference. I don't know how it is here, but I didn't have to pay to perform for the ones I was booked at. So
there is some of the pay to play thing that goes on here, but it's not, you don't have to do those shows. You can find plenty of shows without that. Sometimes if you book with some of the bigger booking agents, they'll ask you to sell a certain amount of tickets. And
that's understandable.
So that stuff happens. And the scene, when I've been doing my podcast, not this one in particular, I have two of them. I was doing my other one, the Pennsylvania Rock Show, is 16 years old. And I've been working with bands in a local scene since 1996. So I've seen a lot over the years.
Hi, I'm new. I'm looking for a band, someone to open for.
Someone that you would probably fit really well with is a guest I'm having on the Pennsylvania Rock Show next Friday. Which is before your episode is going to be released. But her name is Miss Freddie. She's a blues artist. Wins lots of awards. And she's very, very, very nice.
Is that Miss like MISS?
And then Freddie is a little different. It's FREDDYE.
Oh, I like it. It's like my Chrystyna. What artist? Jeez.
Dom, I'm putting it up. We are not counting this as one of my questions, but Dom Capelli is he's kind of metal-ish, heavy rock band called Gonto. I actually designed his website, so we have a connection. His question for you, Chrystyna, is what artist would you like to see perform naked and why?
I can guarantee you it's not anyone that you would expect, but I would have to be Christina Aguilera because she is just beautiful and her body is like, woo! So I would love to see her move, how she moves naked. I would love to.
Well, there you go, Dom.
There you go. Is that satisfactory enough?
she's from this area.
Oh, yeah, she is. She is. I think like near New Ken, isn't she?
Wexford maybe, which isn't. It's not that far.
Yeah,
I'd have to double check, but definitely from a Pittsburgh suburb.
Yeah, I love her.
That was an awesome question. I've never seen any.
It was. I liked it.
I might have to steal that. I'm not asking Miss Freddie that though, because I don't want to upset her.
Oh.
So that's a bonus question for you from Gonto. GontoMusic.com.
That was fun. That was good.
He says Maria Brink. He's actually releasing a song on November 13th, which is 2 days from the day we're recording.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's called Mission One, but
As Dom, or does he have an artist name?
it's Gonto, Gonto, music.com.
Awesome. I'm writing this down. I'm going to check it out.
So
great question.
my second question for you, I'm not going to ask a question like that. Let's see.
I'm pretty open, as you can see.
If there was a catastrophic event, and okay, maybe it's kind of like that. Catastrophic event, and most of the human race is wiped off the face of the earth.
Okay.
And one song from every musician survives this event.
Oh.
Which one of your songs would survive and help repopulate the earth?
I Want That Boom Boom.
Okay, now you have to tell us about that.
It's about sex. It's about one night stands and a great time, and it's about sex, creeping into bedrooms at night and having a great time, skin between the sheets. I Want That Boom Boom.
That song fits perfectly.
Right? Repopulate. It's like confidence. Like it's in the way I talk. It's in the way I walk. It's nice. Like, I want that boom boom. Come and get it.
So the song that we're going to feature here tonight is called Loaded Gun.
Yes.
So we mentioned age earlier, but not on the air, so nobody needs to know that. But I feel like you've probably seen like the VH1 and MTV specials where they talk about the music.
Yes.
So that's what I'm looking for here. Tell me about your song Loaded Gun.
Loaded Gun. Like, you want the story.
Yeah.
Story. Okay. Backstory is, I can talk about it now. It's great. It was very difficult to write. Actually, my now husband helped me write it. But at the time, I was engaged, we'll call it, to a touring drummer in a band. And he had a substance problem. And he had told me that he had cut it. He quit. And I was like, okay, because that's not my life. That's not what I'm about. And I don't want to have any part of it. I don't want to be with someone that has that in their life. And everything was fine. He went on tour. He came back from the summer tour. We moved to Washington from Los Angeles. He bought a cabin in the woods. And we fixed it up. It was just us. Nobody for like 40 minutes. The town was 30, 40 minutes away. And he kept disappearing at night sometimes, and he would come back. He'd be like, oh yeah, I was hanging with the guys at the strip club. I was like, okay, whatever. And then after that, I noticed he would be getting super depressed and angry. He'd be putting me down. He said he was missing tour. And then I noticed that he would start getting happy and in a great mood every time he went to the bathroom. And he went to the bathroom a lot. And I found it in his wallet. I was like, why are you going to the bathroom? Why are you bringing your wallet? And I found his stash. And he told me he had quit. I was like, you didn't quit, this and that. He's like, oh, I'm so depressed. I'm going to kill myself. I have a gun. And I was like, okay, now this is scary. He's depressed. He's doing coke. He has a gun. He's putting me down. He's doing all this like verbally abusive, mentally abusive things. I am scared. So we're in this woods. There's nobody around. There's no like good phone service. And a few days after that incident, he went to the store, and that was like 40 minutes away. So I was like, I'm not going to go to the store with you. I'm going to clean up. You go. I'll be here. He left. I was like, I got 30 minutes to pack my car with everything I could fit in it and get out without him seeing me on the road. So I packed my bags, pieced the F out, and never talked to him. And so I ninja bounced. And that is what that song is about. It's like, I don't need you.
Did you just say ninja bounced?
Yes, I created that term because I like pieced out. I bounced without a word, like just poof out of thin air. I left so many things, my laptop, my TV, like I left so many things behind. And I just didn't care. I was like, have it. I am saving my life. I call it like, so that's what that song is about. It's about standing up and getting out in the worst situation possible at the time. Like I'm PG-13ing it. And yeah, so that's what that song is about. I only needed one shot. Peaced out. I'm pretty sure it ruined his life. Like
Is he still playing the drums, touring? Do you know?
He is no longer in a band.
Yeah.
I think he messed that up with his habit.
With the habit.
Yeah, because everyone in the band was like family people now, and they were over that. They're in their 40s, all grown up. It's like it's about the music now, making money for the families, and I think he ruined it for himself. So,
worked out great for you.
Worked out great for me. Happily married, living the life that we were supposed to live. And he's alone. And I mean, we actually did talk a few months ago for the first time on Facebook, and he had no clue that I like deleted him, but we caught up. He said he's clean now. I don't believe it. And he was doing he's like, I'm doing this, I'm making a movie, I'm writing my own music. I was like, great, I am actually happy for you. Like, so I'm actually in a place where I could be happy for it if it's true, but you never know.
What did that all happen in Toronto? Like, is that part of the reason why you ended up this way?
No, it happened. We met in Los Angeles and we moved to Washington State. So it all happened in the boonies of Washington.
So you've lived in Toronto, you've lived in LA, you've lived in Washington, you've lived in Pittsburgh.
I lived in Denver, I lived in Texas, I lived in New York, I lived everywhere.
You've been all over.
I lived in Costa Rica.
Why'd you leave Costa Rica?
For him.
For
the drummer. I just became a new fan. Thank you. Yeah,
let me pop that back up there. There we go. Andy gave you the horns.
Yeah. I was living in Costa Rica. He was on tour. He was like, if we're going to get married, we need to live together. And that's when I realized we cannot live together. You are not who I thought you were. Like, you are dangerous and you're crazy.
Well, I'm glad that you ended up in a better place. And what we're
that
gonna
song
do
actually helped other people, and someone they've reached out to me and said, "What did you do?" So it has helped people. Sorry, I cut you
awesome.
off.
All I was going to say was that we're going to take a moment and listen to the song. Loaded Gun by Chrystyna Marie, and we'll be back in just a moment. And for those of you that hang out with us live right now, you're not going to get to hear the song right now because Facebook would then mute our video, and we don't want that to happen. So on December 1st, if you go to buildthescene.com, you will be able to find this episode of 3 Questions and a Song at 6 a.m. It will be aired on buildthescene.com's radio station. It also will end up on rootaroораdio.com, which is in San Diego, California. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back in as if we were listening to the song.
Great.
And then that's where I'm going to ask Scarlet's question, and I'll dub it in later. And then we'll talk a little bit about where you can be found online and stuff like that. And we're almost done. I told you this was an easy one.
I was so nervous. It's gone. And Dom, I love you. Let me just tell you that I love you.
All right, so here we go.
Okay.
All right, so that was Loaded Gun by Chrystyna Marie, who is originally from Toronto and has been all over the world. What we're going to do now is Scarlet. Speaking of all over the world, Scarlet was our last guest. She was originally from just outside Inverness, Scotland, in the Highlands.
I love Scotland.
She's currently in London, and I'm going to let her ask her question of Chrystyna. And her question basically was, what what influenced your last release?
Last release would be everything I write is based on life experience. So I had enough experiences that I wanted to talk about and like cultivate together that kind of followed a story. There was a pattern. So it was like, we love you too. It was a pattern of like heartbreak. Someone's trying to use you. Someone's insecurities broke your heart, but then you became stronger because of it. Then you got, I want that boom, boom. I met my husband. Everything's great. Some mother insecurities, like mother not supporting your dream, never being good enough. Everything comes from life, really. And then I put it into like a story.
So I'm gonna kind of add on to her question. If you had to pick just a couple artists that you think influenced you, who would you name?
Old school and new school. Chrystyna Aguilera, number one. Back to Basics album. Etta James, Ella Fitzgerald, Lou Rawls. A lot of B.B. King, like music wise. Instrumental wise, some Pink Floyd. Instrumental wise, yeah. Janis Joplin.
I hear that one.
Mama's Blues.
So when the listeners are done listening to us and they want to go find some more of your music, some more information about you, where can they find you online?
The best place would be www.ChrystynaMarie.com, right there with Y's. All places that you could find me, there's links to them there. All like iTunes, Amazon, SoundCloud, some articles, everything's there. Facebook, Instagram. That would be the best place.
I'm going to throw one more question at you. I do this sometimes. Can you tell us about the moment that you knew that you had to be an artist?
I was 3.
Wow.
Yeah. And my mom, I actually remember this, and my mom like confirmed it. She used to sing to us to sleep like operatically. Not very well, but she used to sing to us. And then one night I asked her if I could sing to her. And I sang the same songs, and she just operatically, and she was like, wow. And from then on, like I was all like, and I think that was the moment. I just loved the way it felt. I loved the way it sounded. And I loved the way it like lit up my mom's face and my baby cousin's face. So it was.
That's actually, I'm really happy that I asked that question. That's an awesome story.
Yeah. So I knew from very young, and then I jumped into like the preschool choir and the church choir and all these community choirs. So it was very young.
Is there anything you want to tell the listeners before I let you head off into the evening?
What do you mean? Wear your masks.
And there you go. That is very
Wash
important.
Your hands.
All right, so this has been episode number 46 of 3 Questions and a Song. You can find out more about us by going to buildascene.com. Or you can go to buildascene.com/show/3QS if you don't want to go through all the links. Make sure you check out Chrystyna at ChrystynaMarie.com, and make sure that you check us out on the 1st and 15th of each month for our new interviews. And our sister podcast, the Pennsylvania Rock Show, is released every Friday and features bands mostly from Pennsylvania. I just did one from Ohio, but he was born in Pennsylvania. There's a link. My name is Bill, and we will see you next time.
Do I need to ask my question?
Oh, I knew. Yes, you do. I'm so glad
I remembered.
That's the second time I've done that in 46 episodes.
Oh.
All right. So your question is for perceived, which is next or the next episode. Yeah.
I am actually, so I listened to them. I really like their stuff. And I read their little story of how they got together, but they left out, I want to know the story of why they chose the name Perceived as their band name.
Like,
what's the story behind that? Like, does it mean something, or is it just like it popped up and we used that?
Okay, so what you'll have to do is listen to episode number 47 to find out what their answer is. And those of you listening, that goes for you too. That's your homework assignment. Being a teacher, I'm allowed to give you homework. Now, let me try this again. That has been episode number 46 of 3 Questions in a Song. Make sure you check us out on the 1st and 15th of every month at buildascene.com.